All right, here we are. We're coming back to see if we still got the reverb. And it
Any
sounds like we got
problems this
nothing.
time?
So, all right.
Yay! I don't know what we did, but
So here we go again. Welcome back to Brew House Tavern. My name's Randy, here with Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
hello.
And special welcome to Kale the Veggie. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. We, here in the Brew House Tavern, we homebrew just about anything from items to backstories to entire worlds. And today, we're continuing on our World Weaver tool, where we're building an entire world, and we'll do a little recap on where we've been so far. So, the genre and tone of the world is high fantasy. And it's a mysterious and layered world, so it should be very familiar to anyone who's played in Faerun or one of the standard D&D sort of worlds. And then we started building our key historical events, starting with the Emperor's Fall. So there's kind of like every 13 emperors, they end up with a bad one. So on one of the 12th emperors, the 12th emperor decides to just stop being an empire, and he gives a last edict. And the last edict was, "Should the 13th dawn arise, remember me." And then he disappears, and the the crystal that controls all magic in the world shatters, and there's 13 days of silver rain, which begins the binding wars in the weeping sky. And there's 12 what they call tears of the dawn, which are basically large fragments of this crystal. And the 12 tears of the dawn start getting bound to different ley lines or areas of concentrated ley lines. And so many of these Tears of the Dawn only have access to certain schools of magic, so maybe some of them are just evocation and divination, or one of them is just necromancy. So in some places, magic may be weaker or stronger depending on how close you are to one of these tiers. But there's also, besides the 12 large pieces that are Tears of the Dawn, we also have shards. So that begins after all the main pieces are bound. Then there's the shard reclamation, where people start chasing the splinters. We got people called prospectors, and then some adventurers and scholars start searching for these small pieces so that they can have sort of maybe mobile magic that they can carry with them. Missed anything so far, Jeff? How am I doing?
Yeah, that's right on with what we're looking for.
All
We've
right.
been working on.
Cool. So then we have the false anchor, which is one artificer who tries to make a new tier by like pasting together pieces of shards, and it kind of destabilizes and causes some trouble. Then we have the Echo Rebellion, and it's where commoners sort of rebel against those 12 houses. The 12 houses, I didn't mention the houses before, but each place with a tier becomes a house. And so the 12 houses try to reclaim magic, but they end up getting crushed. The rebellion gets crushed, and the houses retain power. And then some people decide at that point to kind of settle the unbound lands or areas with no magic. And one of those is Hearthrest. And so there's a team of independent magi who were studying the shards, and an explosion occurred in Hearthrest, kind of destroying the entire city. But there's I think if we come down here to the detail, it was an unlicensed shard experiment, and it wasn't an accident. There was some kind of sabotage going on there. So,
A couple,
uh,
couple of big houses were messing with things to make sure they maintain control over all of the magic.
yep, yep. And then now we've got a shard inquisition. So now they're kind of searching out all of this research. And and then we have to hearth rest. It means became a common phrase that means to destroy something pure for power. So that's kind of fun. All right, so that's kind of the world as we have it so far, and we're ready to continue on with the next event. So basically, what we have here is it's all kind of primed in ChatGPT, and it gives us a roll table, and the roll table gives us some suggestions about some next historical events, and then we have 3 players. So we have myself, Randy, and then Jeff, and then we have player 3. And player 3 is anyone in the chat. You can choose from the selections or submit your own, and we'll add it to the world. But this one looks like it's going to be my turn. So, yeah, I'm going to roll a d6 here. And just for note, yeah, we do not lock ourselves into any of these suggestions. We often will re-roll tables or mix a couple of things or modify them as we go. Sometimes we'll roll 2 dice and take a combination of them or something like that. So, but this one I got a 5. So that's the Emerald Blight. Corruption spreads through lay focused forest, turning them into crystalline wastelands. House Saradin blamed, but others may be complicit. That's not bad.
That's the nature house.
That makes sense right?
They'd get blamed. Enchantment nature, their anchor domain is the Whispering Grove, so it makes sense that they would get blamed.
I see. Yeah, I think that's maybe a good one to go with. It's not too out there, but it's going to be adding something. Yeah.
I don't think I guess let's say I don't think we have too much in the way of like corruption yet or anything, but I guess the shards, like the rain itself, was almost kind of that way. I think at one point there it was talking about some of the Tears of the Dawn would maybe have mutated people, but I don't know that actually stuck with anything that we had yet.
Oh, I see.
So getting a little bit of corruption sounds fun.
Yeah. I was looking at Silent Concord though. 12 houses agree to end open warfare. Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
That may be a good thing to have at some point in the history. I'm not sure that after, directly after the Sundering of Hearthrest, that they would then become
right.
Peaceful. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with Emerald Blight. Let's try that out. So.
Yeah, and sometimes just for a note, also like something that we've done too is if there's something that, let's say I find in the last roll table that I was like, oh, I really like that, but Randy decides to not go with it, then I could still take that idea into my next turn, potentially. And so I may even come back to something and be like, you know what, I did like the Silent Concord or Accord or whatever, and I'll go back to it. I'm not saying that that's what I want to do, but saying that's an option.
Yep. Yeah. What's in the roll table is a suggestion. What's in there or when it's there doesn't matter. We're building on our own. So here's first some detail about the Emerald Blight. We got the let's see. I guess it should still be my turn. Yeah.
Get to roll again. Yep.
Yeah. So I rolled a 1 here. So, Roots of the Betrayal. House Saradin's druids discovered an ancient ley pulse beneath the Whispering Grove, but House Vareth secretly redirected it to fuel their own forges, poisoning the ley flow. I like it.
Oh.
I like it.
And Vareth. Let's see what Vareth is. They are originally in the Obsidian Tower, and they are evocation. Interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Also, this is good. It's creating like some connection between our places, and um, it's gonna affect our map as well, right? When we decide where each of these places are, these tiers are, we'll know that Saradin and Vareth are probably nearby. So I like it. Let's go with that.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see when we get to phase 2 and we start building out some of the land and we put this in, we put all this content in here. It'll be interesting to see how that all begins to play out. I think
Yep.
we might have to do a little bit of like guiding,
Yes.
but we'll see.
Yeah, I imagine so. All right, so here we are at 4:30 AF. The Emerald Blights. When House Saradin's druids uncovered a deep lake pulse beneath the Whispering Grove, they believed it to be the world's dormant heart, a healing current that could restore the Unbound Lands. In secret, House Vareth redirected this flow through the smelter anchors beneath the Iron Hollow to amplify their warforges. The lake pulse sickened, twisting into a green crystal rot that spread through soil, flora, and mana alike. Good. Yeah. We got some new lore here. We smelter anchors. The Iron Hollow, so it's adding some lore for us. Yeah, I dig it, and it's got some more detail here we can look at later. But I don't know how you feeling about that one. Do we need to flesh it out a bit, or should we move on to the next one?
No, I think we should move on overall. I think that's a good. I mean, I don't want to get too deep into some of these because like I think the houses when we got into those and we were very confused about the shards when we were working on that. But this one seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's giving good connectivity between the houses and stuff. Yeah, I like what it's doing. I particularly found it interesting that they were trying to heal the Unbound Lands. So that might be the only thing that I would dig into is like what are the Unbound Lands? Because I don't know that we've defined that real well. I'm trying to look to
Yeah.
see if we
Yeah.
ever have.
The Unbound Lands, as far as I can recall, are areas without any magic because they're too far from any ley anchors or any.
I can go with that. Yeah.
So
I mean, that makes sense. I think you and I talked about it being, well, I think there was also some concept about it being like potentially like unstable magic lies within the Unbound.
well, here in the Echo Rebellion, it says commoners sought to break
There's
the
the
house's control
wells.
and reclaim magic for all people. And
Yeah.
then Calanus of the Unnamed Line, rumored descendant of the Emperor's forbidden love, and the rebellion created unbound wells, allowing free access to magic, but also spawned unstable unbound lands. Oh, so this is right where the kind of a concentration of ley lines, and it's not bound to any. So maybe magic is weak there, but you have access to all of it.
Yeah. You're seeing unstable as like a weakening. I'm seeing it as chaos, but that makes sense as a more like it's just not like you go to cast a fireball and it's just like a little flame flickers out.
Hmm.
It's unstable. I was
Yeah.
seeing it as more just like chaos. Like you go get a chance to try and cast something, and it's like no, you could end up with like completely backfiring on yourself or something like that. But or magic is twisting things in the Unbound Lands. But I think I like the unstable better because I think it just leads to it adds to that lore of like the shards helping to carry that magic and binding the magic to the anchors and stuff. And then outside of it there's still residual, like as you get farther away from the anchor, to like there's going to be concentric circles worth of magic essentially, right? As you get farther away it's going to weaken and diminish as you get closer to them, but obviously still regulated by the houses. Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense for the like. Why else would you bind, right? Unless it did something beneficial for you, which is kind
Right.
of concentrate the magic and make it more effective.
Right.
So yeah, I think
Now
that's
the
a good
question would be
understanding.
is why this. Yeah, the question would be why this new house was trying to. Because what did it say about the new house or the event that we just created, where they were trying to like heal the land, the Unbound Lands.
They were trying to siphon. Oh,
they
believed
it
to be the world's. Go ahead. Sorry.
Let's see. So when their druids uncovered a deep. Okay, so there was a ley pulse beneath the Whispering Grove. So yeah, in a way it looks, but that healing current could restore the Unbound Lands. So they were trying to maybe potentially. I mean, that could just be that they were trying to claim more land themselves, claim it more for nature, right? Like if they could get the heart of nature essentially to heal the more of the lands, then their circle of bound lands becomes more. So maybe it's not. I was thinking of them kind of almost as a force for good, that they were trying to do something nice, and then this other house is like, screw you, we're gonna steal all that. But it's entirely possible that House Saradin was not, just like they were just trying to make. I mean, good is in the eye of the beholder, right? They could have thought it was good for their sense of like bringing more nature to life, which is great when you think about playing D&D and you've got like druids versus anything else, and their love of the outdoors and trying to see that proliferate across the world, and maybe not loving cities as much and stuff. So yeah, I think it's a cool concept. I feel like it's got enough meat to it already.
Yep. All right. So yeah, let's get into the next historical event.
I was going to note too, for anyone who's watching maybe for the first time, when you see AF in our timeline, so our first event was that Emperor's Fall. So it gave a timeline of AF as in, it even says it right there, after the fall is AF. Look at that, as I'm trying to say it, ChatGPT's like, no, I'll explain it for you.
Yeah, I got you. All right. This one's for player 3, but I think we lost Kale the Veggie. You seen anybody in chat here?
No. If you're in chat and you're hiding somewhere, let us know.
Raise your hand and you can play.
Otherwise, Randy and I are just going to roll.
Yep. All right,
I got a 5.
I got a 4. So for the Ashborn, long outcasts of the Hearthrest Rift, propose a pact to serve as mediators between houses and the Unbound Lands for a terrible price.
Interesting. The Ashborn, by the way, were the ghost touch survivors that were fused with shard resonance, linger at the edges of both realities. They act as seers, traders, and mourners of what was lost. That's what we had from them. So they were a result of the sundering of Hearthrest.
I like it. Okay, go ahead and
tell
us about 5.
All right, 5, we've got the Ley Eclipse. For 7 days, all ley flow ceases. Magic fails worldwide. Anchors flicker, and ghosts of the Emperor's reign walk the earth. Meh. It's interesting, but I don't know. I don't know that it's my thing.
Yeah. I do really like the Ashborn Compact. It builds on an earlier event.
Yeah. I particularly like this this idea that the houses are pockets of civilization, and then in between the houses there's the Unbound Lands that some people have ventured into and live in, who we'll call them like the Luddites of society, right? They don't want to do anything with magic. They're like, screw magic, I don't need magic, I'll just be which actually makes sense why the nature house might be more connected with them. But the idea that you might have these Ashborn mediators who are just kind of like the outcasts of society. They go wherever they want, right? So the house probably uses them more, and the Unbound Lands, the residents of the Unbound Lands, probably need them to connect to the houses. Whereas the houses are like, yeah, we'll leave. I just feel I see them as the outcasts of society.
So these Ashborn that are proposing a pact. I wonder what the terrible price is. We can get that in the detail, and I think that could be fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with it. I do want to know what that terrible price is. Firstborn child of every house. Something like
It's a pivotal moment. It bridges the political machinations of the great houses with the eerie, fractured spirituality of those who dwell at the edges of two realities. The Ashborn, survivors of the Hearthrest Rift, are stepping out of the myth and into diplomacy and perhaps power. And here's the detail. Give me another roll.
3, the covenant price.
Tell us
In
about
exchange for mediation, the Ashborn demands sovereignty over the Rift of Hearthrest and the right to bury their dead where worlds overlap.
I got 2, which is the third voice. Negotiations occur through spectral emissaries who speak in perfect unison. One mortal, one ghost, one reflection. No one knows who truly holds power. I kind of like that. Yeah, yeah. Not helpful.
It's cool, but like it's almost like I'm trying to think. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the Unbound Lands and the people that live in it and why they would want this and why the house would want this and everything.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's look at the others because I'm not feeling either 2 or 3. How about you?
Yeah. No.
So we got the Pact of Mirrors. Yeah, the Ashborn teach the houses to speak with their spectral reflections, promising knowledge from the after realm. The houses soon learn those reflections have their own will. Okay, that's pretty good. Tell us about 4.
The Shard Veil. The compact allows Ashborn priests to walk freely through house territories. In return, the Inquisition receives mirrored armor that resists lay corruption. Oh. That's weird, but interesting. Maybe allowing them to move more freely into the Unbound Lands. Thus, I feel like the Unbound Lands, they're the big part of what would draw the house to the Unbound Lands is the fact that it's land, right? It's land that they don't own yet, and they want to get it. So the Shard Veil is interesting because maybe that allows their armies to move into that land that's weakened and maintain their magic better.
Yeah, and it could be that they just struggle to control it because their magic doesn't work out there as well, and so all you have to have is a strong army in the Unbound Lands, and you're good to go.
Right.
You know. Yeah. So let's see. Number 5, the breaking of names. Those who sign the compact lose their true names, replaced by mirrored titles, linking them forever to their Ashborn counterpart. That's crap. All right. And how about 6?
The betrayal of Glass and Flame. On the night of signing, the rift flares. Half the negotiators vanish into the reflection. The other half emerge changed. None remember which side they came from.
That's the one.
There's so many questions on that I just don't know.
Well,
if we had to take one from this, I like the Shard Veil, kind of. The Pact of Mirrors is also kind of interesting as well. And I wonder what would a merge between 1 and 4 maybe look like.
Let's find out. So this is what an Ashborn compact looks like. The spectral survivors of Hearthrest offered to mediate its growing rifts between the houses and the Unbound Lands in exchange for recognition and safe passage. They taught the houses how to communicate with their reflections, echo selves, that dwell within the mirrored plane. The Inquisition received mirrored armor capable of repelling ley corruption, but every new link between realms weakened the veil itself. Ugh. I
What?
don't know. It's
The veil thing has got me asking more questions now too.
yeah, the veil, reflections, echo cells,
Right.
other planes.
Yeah.
It's getting the lore is kind of getting too deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Let's not choose this one.
Let's have it give us a new detail table.
Yeah.
And let's think about this. So the Ashborn
Pact?
Ghost Touch survivors fuse with Shard residents. Lingers on the edge of both realities. So these are like undead, basically, right? They're kind of or sort of half undead.
Yeah.
Maybe not even undead. They're ghost touch. They're sort of dead, sort of not. What do they have to offer? We want a new table.
Yeah. There we go. Alright. So we got the Grey Concord. The Ashborn offered to stabilize Unbound lands using spectral ley binders. Half living, half ghost. For decades this works until the binders begin to disappear into the rift. Yeah, that's
an interesting one.
Mm-hmm. How about number 2?
Let's see, the Hollow Mediation. The compact's negotiations occur entirely in dream space. None remembers the details, yet every sigil and signature appears carved into Waking Stone. No. No dreams.
Yep. The Lantern Tide. Each house must send a portion of its ley energy to sustain the rift's boundary. Collected in soul lanterns tended by the Ashborn, some lanterns begin whispering secrets. Huh. So, like, kind of like a piece of their soul is now controlled by the Ashborn? Or is it ley energy?
What is the rift's boundary?
So the rift is what occurred when the sundering happened.
That's the rift in the house, right?
Yeah, the rift of Hearthrest now marks a permanent rift where the city once stood, half in the waking world, half in the mirrored afterrealm. So the rift is Hearthrest destroyed.
And it basically is connecting. Okay, so the rift is connecting the world to the world as is, plus what they've called mirrored realm, or kind of like a shadow realm, or a just another realm of existence, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Of some kind.
Yeah.
And so this one is that each house must send a portion of its energy to sustain the rift's boundary. So maybe there's something about that rift that if it's not sustained, it could overtake and threaten to destroy what the houses have. And so that's why they would want to maintain this. Like, so the houses were like, look, we're going to stop magic in Hearthrest because people are playing around with it. But unfortunately, in the process of that, they create this potentially dangerous rift that could expand and take over the world, killing and destroying everyone in the wake of it. The Ashborn, however, because of the way that they were created, essentially, have some kind of sway or immunity to said rift because they're half in this world and half in the rifted world or the mirrored world, right? Mm-hmm. And so they're fine. So they can kind of walk between worlds, maybe. And so now the house is sending them the energy so that they can walk into the world, maintain the boundary, And in the process, whatever energy that they're sending, I guess they start learning some secrets, which is awesome, actually. You start learning some house secrets? Ooh. That could be interesting.
A lot we could do with that.
Yeah, if we go on that perspective, I kind of like that idea.
Well, let's look at the others.
Yeah. What do we got? The reflected thrones. Each house receives a spectral twin counterpart across the mirror realm. These reflected houses begin taking actions independent of their originals. Okay.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Number 5, Covenant of Still Flame. The Covenant forbids any house from weaponizing shard fire. In return, the Ashborn reveal how to quench corrupted ley lines, but the ritual drains emotion from all who perform it. No, I don't. I'm not doing shard fire.
Yeah. Last one, the Hymn of Two Worlds. I already don't like it because it says music.
Yeah.
During the Compact's final ritual, voices from both realms sing in harmony. Magic stabilizes. Yeah, no, I'm not even finishing reading that.
Yeah. So I think we could go with Lantern Tithe.
I like it. Yeah, I feel like it makes sense to me. For we can make it make sense.
Yeah, I think so. So let's go with 3. All right, so we got the Lantern Tithe as part of the Ashborn Compact, and here's our summary for that historical event. To halt the spread of ley corruption and the Emerald Blight, the houses entered into a pact with the Ashborn, the spectral survivors of Hearthrest, in exchange for mediation and containment rights. Each house agreed to send a portion of its ley flow to sustain the rift's boundary, paid through glowing vessels called soul lanterns. Yeah, now that it's written it all out in a summary, I feel pretty clear about it. And here's details about it. Let's see. Each year at the end of the Silver Reign, that's not right. Emissaries of the Great House travel to the edges of the Rift of Hearthrest to deliver their tribute. Ley energy condensed into soul lanterns of crystal and mirrored glass. Each lantern hums in resonance with its house's anchor, glowing in a distinct hue. The Ashborn claim the tide strengthens the barrier between worlds and prevents further blight. Hidden cost. Over decades, strange phenomenon emerge. Some lanterns begin whispering secrets into the voices of the dead. Others flicker with reflected scenes. Entire caravans carrying the tithe have vanished into mirror light storms, only to reappear months later with no survivors. The Shard Inquisition grows more secretive, guarding the rituals of transfer. House Orin and Vel oversee the lantern circuits, becoming spiritual power as much as political ones. Heretical belief rises among the commoners. The houses are feeding their ancestors, not the rift. That's good. Okay. Each house's light now carries a subtle personality. Loyalists claim it's ancestral memory. Skeptics call it spectral surveillance. Ugh. Do you want to add a hidden truth? No, we're good on hidden truths.
No. I like that the Ashborn have now become like priests and wardens of the tithe. That's kind of cool. That's interesting. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. I say we keep it. We can always, play around with it later some more.
Yeah, I think it's good to go. So, let's create historical event number 9. Alright, so here we are, now entering the 6th century after the fall, time when the Lantern Tithe bind the world together in an uneasy unity. Alright, so what's going to affect that unity? Jeff, go ahead and give us a roll.
1. The flickering years. The soul lanterns begin to dim and sputter one by one. Regions lose magic in waves, and whispers say the Ashborn are collecting more than energy. Interesting.
Yeah,
2.
Conflict. Yep.
2 is interesting. The 13th Dawn returns. A wanderer claiming to bear the Emperor's mark appears beneath the rift's light, gathering followers who see the lanterns as chains, not salvation.
I think we need that.
Yeah,
I think we need that.
I like it.
Yep. Because we're at 9 out of 10 of our historical events, and to introduce the 13th Dawn.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So to anybody who's just tuning in, the 13th Dawn was kind of like the great prophecy from the Emperor. So yeah, I think returning it now is great. All right.
Let's do it. And it fits nicely. Basically, we've established houses and shards and tithes and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, let's get back to the main the main thing. All right, so for detail, let's see what kind of detail you want, Jeff.
All right, I got 3, 2, and then that would equal 5. So let's look at 2, 3, and 5. All right, so we got 2. The voice in the lanterns. The return begins not with a person, but with whispers from every soul lantern speaking in unison. The 13th Dawn has risen. Interesting. 3 is a spectral figure resembling the Emperor appears in the mirrored realm. Ashbourne claim him as their savior, while the houses call it heresy. Of course they would, because they don't want to give up their power. I'm liking 2 and 3 together.
Yeah.
And then 5, a child born under both suns, real and reflected, performs impossible magic, awakening dormant anchors. Multiple houses claim to be its protector.
We don't have any dormant anchors, so I kind of like part of that, but I don't. I'm not sure I want to figure out what dormant anchors are.
Yeah. I definitely like 2 and 3 together.
Yeah.
Let's see. What about 1? A wanderer bearing the Emperor's sign, a sunburst scar upon their chest, walks out of the rift of Hearthrest during the silver rain, which I don't love that. Yeah. Every lantern flares at once. I kind of like a progression of things. 2, then 3, then 1, minus the silver rain. But
yeah.
But I feel like that's kind of how it happened, right? You start getting whispers from the soul lanterns that the 13th Dawn has risen. Some people started seeing a spectral figure in the mirrored realm. Then some dude actually just walks out of the realm. And so now you got the houses calling this guy heretical. This is like Jesus coming to the lands.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not opposed to this, actually.
Yeah.
And he's like, I am your Messiah. And they're like, the houses are like, no, you're not. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not giving us more bound lands. And you're like, yeah, all right, well.
Yeah.
Can we do 1? Can we tell it we want 2? We want 2, 3, and 1 in that order, but remove the silver rain from 1.
2, 3, and 1. With the do we want to say with strength, with relative, with that relative strength, with strength in that relative
I think in
order.
in that order, yeah. Or I'm just thinking, or a sequence of, or with maybe say 2, 3, and 1, with that being the sequence of events occurring for this singular event. Because it's like 2 goes into 3 goes into 1, right?
Okay, maybe that'll help to stop suggesting silver rain.
Remove the silver rain.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. That was a 1. Yeah. Yep.
All right. So tell us what we ended up with here.
That's a powerful combination. All right.
Let's
see. Let's weave these details together. Let's say, centuries after the fall, every soul lantern across the 12 anchors flickered to life and spoke in unison, the 13th Dawn has risen. Soon after, a spectral figure resembling the lost emperor appeared within the mirrored realm. Finally, a nameless pilgrim stepped forth from the rift of Hearthrest, bearing the Emperor's sunburst sigil burned upon their chest, neither living nor dead. I like that. I missed some of the house stuff that it had reference to, but that's fine. This is the summary. It's not the details.
Yeah.
So if we go down into the sequence of Revelation, though, let's see. So we had the voice in the lanterns. I'm not going to read all this. The Hollow Saint. The Ashborn call him the Hollow Saint. The house has denounced the vision as blasphemy. Yeah, see that? Cool. I like that.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, cool. And then the nameless pilgrim comes out.
Sunburst mark of the Imperial line. Oh, they claim no memory, no title. No, they claim no memory, no name, no title, only purpose. I walk until the world remembers itself. Yeah. Nice.
I like it.
Yeah. We got some consequences.
We got our Messiah. I like it.
Yeah. Hey, but already he feels dangerous.
Like, yeah, unpredictable, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Messiah maybe to some, but to most, like, I mean, the original, the 13th Emperor is a danger. I mean, we know him to be a danger.
Right.
So there, yeah, of course, there are some people who will embrace the chaos, but
the Ashborn like him, but that's about it.
Maybe
some of the others of maybe some of the others of the Unbound Lands like him, but I think the houses are gonna not be so keen on this guy.
Yep, I think that's right, and I'll bet that's what we find out in historical event number 10. This will be our last one, folks.
Here we go. We got this. We can get this one. I think you get this one.
Most likely. All right, 10th and final historical event. All right. Oh, it's even set it up here, right? These options are designed to bring the world's threads, the houses, the Ashborn, the Lantern Tie, the end 13th Dawn, toward a dramatic inflection point. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I liked how that came out last time, so I'm going to give it 3 rolls also. 2, 3, and 6.
Yeah, I mean, I did 2 rolls. I only did 2 rolls and then took the combined of them, but I mean, you do you. Whatever works.
All right, on. So here we go. We got the lantern collapse. A soul lantern shatter in a single instant. Flooding the lay network with uncontrolled resonance, magic becomes unstable, and the afterrealm leaks into the world pass. It's not terrible, but the reflected houses. This is number 3, the Mirror War. The reflected houses birth centuries through Ashborn rituals, invade the waking world. Their goal to replace the originals. Maybe, but it's still not what I feel like is going to happen.
Yeah. It gets into that weird mirror stuff.
Yeah. The 13th Dawn fully manifests, an aura sweeps across the world, merging lay and life. Magic becomes instinctive, history fluid, death negotiable. None agree if it's salvation or apocalypse. So, I'm really liking this, and for 2 reasons. It gives us a really good jumping off point for an adventure, right?
Yep.
And if you don't want to deal with like not shattered magic, what do we call it?
Shards.
Yeah, the shards and magic
bounds.
being yeah. Okay, now all magic is available to you everywhere. Have fun.
Yep.
So it gives us that point in the world.
But backing all of that is a history where it wasn't. So now you have noble houses who are like, whoa, hold up. We used to control all this, and now we don't have it. And so I think there's a lot that you can play with that a lot. But to your point, but not be restrictive. I feel like it is a good culmination of where we got. Because, it could be a concern to say, oh yeah, you're bound to this. You have to carry a shard to cast your spells and stuff. Now you could
Yeah.
play. You could still play in that time frame if you wanted to,
Hmm.
but and maybe
And
shards still have potency to them.
that's what I was going to say too. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
shards are largely used as arcane foci, and maybe they give you bonuses
Yeah.
on certain schools of magic or
Amplify.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really.
And
dig number
I think
6.
those bound houses still have something to them.
Yeah.
I think they're major players still, and they want to reclaim the old way. Yeah, I like 6 a lot.
Yeah, and they fear this person still who has kind of made this possible. What is their intention?
And it's better than 1. If you looked at 1 was like the person unites everything, and I just feel like it's better than 1.
I see. It succeeds
like-
too well.
Yeah. 1 was like the whole like Deus Ex Machina, almost like, all right, well, everything's good now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's the breaking of the anchors is pretty good too. The 13th tier pulses once, and every lay anchor fractures. The 12 houses lose their magical foundations, and new powers arise from the unbound.
Yeah.
So this 13th tier was sort of a myth, and maybe the Messiah finds it. And
yeah.
that would be
his
kind of
power
cool too.
into it. Yeah.
Oh, it didn't give me a
It didn't
detail one.
ask us for details. Yeah. Can we? Well, what does it have though?
So, in the wake of the nameless pilgrim's passage, the ley lines of the world began to sing. Just have to sing, don't
Why?
we? On the day of one sky, dawn and dusk merged into a single eternal twilight, an aura spanning every horizon. The 13th dawn did not rise above the world, but within it. Reflection and reality fused, birthing a new era where magic and memory intertwine. Why is
No.
and the barrier between life and death thins to a whisper.
Yeah, there's things I don't like about their summary.
Yeah, it will definitely change their summary. But overall, that's what we wanted to happen.
Yeah. I think we saw it different. But yeah.
Yeah. When the last soul lantern guttered out, its light didn't vanish, it spread. Yeah, Ashburn called us the remembering. Consequences. Magic is no longer bound by anchors. Every living being hums with faint lay resonance. Magic arises through emotion, art, and memory, unpredictable but deeply personal. Some houses dissolve entirely, others merge with their mirrored selves. I don't know what that mirrored selves is for this, but
Yeah.
House Orien
I
and
love
Vale, through the remnants of the Shard Inquisition, now Holy Order of Veiled Light. Yeah, I think
Oh, interesting.
any time we catch a mirrored something, I think the mirroring only exists in Hearthrest.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. The Ashborn, neither dead nor living, they serve as interpreters of the new ley flow, helping mortals navigate blurred boundaries of soul and form. That's great. Yeah, the Ashborn are going to be major players. Let's see, the
But
people.
now, not house people too. So it's a weird, like, they are like the priests almost, like the priestly caste or something.
Yep. And the people, dreams and memories leak into reality. History itself is softened. The past is malleable to those who remember hard enough. Entire cities remember themselves differently each year. That's terrible, but
Yeah.
we can imagine what the people are like, I think, at this point, without their help here.
Right.
The world is a land now reacts to emotion. Rivers glow. Okay, blah blah blah.
Stop with the singing.
Yeah, right. I think so. When I was reading here about the breaking of the anchors, I might want to add this as detail. So,
Okay.
can you add the breaking?
And can you ask it to take out some of the singing and
Yep. Yeah. Can you add the
do
breaking?
not include anything with singing? No singing.
Detail to this event. Also, remove any mention of singing or memory. Or mirror. Or mirror realms. Unless it's tied to Hearthrest.
Hearthrest or the Ashborn.
Yeah, good.
I feel like those are two anchor points of the mirrored realm that are acceptable.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Good. Let's reforge. Okay, so let's read. So the convergence of light and the breaking of the anchor. The 13th Dawn's awakening triggered a worldwide ley surge that ruptured the 12 anchors simultaneously. Yes, that's what I wanted. The unleashed energies formed a permanent aura across the sky and reconnected the fractured ley network. But at a terrible cost. The house lost their magical monopolies, vast regions became unstable, and only the Ashborn of Hearthrest could still navigate the new currents. That's perfect. So the 13th Dawn has come. We have a new emperor, and it may be even scarier than it had it been a mortal emperor. I love it. And we got some aftermath from the houses. The obsidian tower melted into a glass spire. That's good. The luminous spire refracted into dozens of hovering fragments. The silent archive of Dalara. I don't remember this. Imploded, leaving behind a crater. So a lot of destruction of like the places with tears.
Yeah, these are the anchor domains.
Yep. Only the Hearthrest rift remains stable, its spectral boundary absorbing part of the released energy.
The irony of that.
Yeah. And the Ashborn emerged from the rift bearing new sigils, devices that could stabilize ley breaches, at least temporarily. Okay, so maybe now they hold some control. They can come into your town of these houses, and we can restore some power to you, but you have to let us live here and kind of control the city religiously. I love it.
Yeah, I do like it.
Political consequences. Okay, this is stuff we can catch up with later. That's maybe too much information they're giving us here, but magic guilds and city-states. Yes, where old houses felt, and the magic guilds are pretty much exclusively run by the Ashborn. The Ashborn of Hearthrest act as arbiters, balancing mortal ambition with ley stability. The phrase "to bind what broke" has become both a political slogan and a prayer. The world is not healed, but it's whole again in its own fractured way. Great end to this.
It's an interesting thing to think about. Where we started with this was one emperor, like the emperor, emperor line, imperial. That's the word I'm looking for. The imperial line was really controlling all of magic to start, right?
Yep.
And then the emperor disappears. It shatters across all of society, and as people do, they collect it and gather it into power and maintain that and hold that for a season of life. That comes with multiple points of conflict that happen throughout the time of the history until it kind of comes to a culmination with a re-ushering of another emperor-like figure, but not one comes to claim power once again, but to distribute it amongst everybody. Shatters it out, spreads it out. There's now an aurora of magic that's now essentially covered everything. The outcasts become the important people in society. It's a big flipping society on its head. Houses still are around, but they suffer consequences. People have magic. It's a really interesting world to play. Like a lot of history to play with there, that you could be playing characters from different parts of all of that. So.
Yep. Yeah, and it's only a few centuries, so you've got some elves who lived through the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So that's pretty cool. And I also like this Messiah figure. You can play him, as a dungeon master. You can play him as good or evil.
Absolutely.
Yep. And I was also thinking, like, since he's from the Mirror Realm, maybe the 13th Emperor was supposed to be evil, but this is the mirrored 13th Emperor. So maybe he's actually
Yeah,
really great.
and maybe there's another one still out there. There's a
Oh, maybe
mirrored
there are two.
version.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so many places you can go with this.
yeah.
It's this turned out to be a really great start to this World Weaver.
Way better than our other one.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, and yeah, we're coming up on time, so yeah, I think we'll get into phase 2 next week. And what is phase 2, Jeff?
Phase 2, we start getting into some of the geography of the land, so which is going to be interesting with a lot of the history we have here and seeing how that plays out with like the houses and stuff, and some of the rifts and things. So I'm very curious as to what we go, but we get to shape the shape of the land, the number of continents and stuff that are a part of it, whether that's one or fractured into different pieces and stuff. And then we also get into, I believe, factions? Or is that 3? That
I
might
think
be 3.
factions comes in later. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all just geography and yeah, just mostly geography for this one. So we start getting into like, what does it look like? What does this world look like now?
Yeah, because so far mostly we have just house names with very little information about them, but we do know like one of them is the forest realm. So when we are choosing biomes, we know where to kind of plop one of these guys down, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think it'll be fun. All right. Yeah, so join us next week and we'll continue on. And yeah, come be a player and yeah, help us decide on some of these things. All right. See you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.